Most people know me as the poet because that is what I display in public.
It's not about the poet now. Who are you?
Okay, I would say
if somebody stripped out the poetry, if somebody stripped out the engineering, who are you?
Jashon is this cool guy.
Cool.
Who will come to you and ask you what's wrong because he has seen you. You're not happy in places where people should be happy. I'll ask you what's wrong, and we'll find a solution to that instantly. Yeah, that's Jashon.
That's Jashon.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on to that point. Emotions.
Yeah. Okay.
What kind of poems are you writing in Form 2?
In Form 2?
Yeah.
You know them. Yeah.
Please tell the world. For the sake of those who are not poets.
If my life was a poem,
what would be the title?
What would be the title? I've had ups and downs. I've had... Wow. But because I do write poetry and dark stories and pain, and so many people don't understand what I say some of the time. So I would say the title would be The Book That Was Never Read.
The Book That Was Never Read.
The Book That Was Never Read.
Ooh,
The Book That Was Never Read. That's perfect.
That's really scary because if you're a book that has never been read, it means that nobody understands at this point.
That means if you read it, it changes you.
Wow. It is very rare to meet a man whose mind speaks in equations and his heart speaks in poetry. Today in studio we have such a gentleman, a man who does not have to choose between intellect and emotion. He will be talking to us about engineering and poetry. We'll be talking about rhymes and what we call them? Equations in mathematics. I'm speaking none other than my favorite poet. But before we get to the poet, my name is Miss Noni. Today on Life in Focus, we will be talking of a story that I'm so eager for you to listen to and learn from. But before we get to the story, remember to go to all our social media platforms, that is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. Give us a follow and remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel because that is where we post this and so many other interviews that we do right here on Life in Focus. Now back to the studio. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Please introduce yourself and tell our viewers who you are.
Okay, it's a big introduction from you, but I'll try and make my mind clear. My name is Jashon Ombogo. Yeah, most people know me with the pen name Amimoh.
Yeah.
Jashon is a writer, an author, also an engineering student. Yeah, I'm in my final year in engineering, doing civil and structural. Yeah, and I'm set to graduate hopefully in November.
Yeah. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I know there are a lot of titles that people know you by, but what would you say is your introduction beyond the titles? Who are you?
I would say, okay, most people know me as the poet because that is what I display in public.
It's not about the poet now. Who are you?
Okay, I would say
if somebody stripped out the poetry, if somebody stripped out the engineering, who are you?
Jashon is this cool guy.
Cool.
Who will come to you and ask you what's wrong because he has seen you. You're not happy in places where people should be happy. I'll ask you what's wrong, and we'll find a solution to that instantly. Yeah, that's Jashon.
That's Jashon.
Yeah.
Is Jashon a son? Is he a brother? Tell me about that.
Yeah, Jashon is a son and a brother. Yeah, I'm a brother to 3 boys. We never got to have a sister.
Too bad.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have soon.
Okay. Yeah, so we are a family of 5. Yeah.
That's really interesting. How is it? How was it growing up with boys? Because I have a very different experience. I grew up with daughters, sisters only.
Wow.
Yeah. So how was it growing up with brothers?
Growing up with brothers, it's like a battlefield, I'd say.
Wow.
Yeah. Take what you can take.
So that's a real thing. You know, I hear about it and I think that people are exaggerating.
No, it's like that. Yeah. Take what you can take before somebody else takes it. If maybe you guys are to go out on some day, Dad has said we are going out on this day. If there is, it's a 4-seat car, yeah, and everybody wants to sit in front. So it's you too.
You have to.
Yeah, it's you to go sit in front. Either somebody will do it. Yeah, so it's kind of a very hard competition with boys. Yeah. yeah, if I imagine ourselves having a sister,
Mm-hmm.
it would be very different. Very different.
That's very interesting. I think that's a very different perspective from everything that I have experienced in my life.
Okay.
But now, moving on to, there is a statement that you said in your bio that caught my attention.
Okay.
English was not my first language.
Yeah.
And I had stories that I wanted to tell, but I
Yeah.
struggled because I did not have a language to tell them. Please tell me about that.
Yeah. So growing up, this first school I went to,
Mm-hmm.
the first primary school was in the village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We went to these classrooms where there were still muddy walls and something like that.
Yeah.
We never had a very good exposure in terms of literature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the teachers were there, but limited because we were in the village. So there was times I had stories to tell. You can't tell vernacular stories to the world. It can't happen.
Yeah.
So however how much you try, you'll just be with your friends and tell them to your friends. So I wanted to learn a language in which people could listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have the stories, you have the emotions there, but you can't express them to the world simply because you don't know the universal language.
Okay.
So I tried so much, made English my best language.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kiswahili, okay, also my favorite, but
Tutakuita kwa Kiswahili hivi karibuni.
okay. Yeah, so I made English my best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the main tactic was through writing compositions and stuff. And after that, I think I built it up to when I was in standard 6, I could write perfectly, not perfectly, but a very good English,
Mm-hmm.
which somebody could read and understand. Yeah, so that's where it started. So immediately I was approved by the teacher that this is good. You can't write and I can understand.
Yeah.
I started writing stories.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I know we grew up with composition stories.
Yeah.
The Day I'll Never Forget, A Red Letter Day, all those things.
Yeah.
But when did you transition that into poetry? Because the man I see and the man I know is
Yeah.
a poet.
Yeah.
So when did that transition happen?
Poetry began in Form 2.
Mm.
And there was a performance in school. I think it was about Olympiad. Olympiad is a program where the exchange students, some people would come, they teach you literature,
Mm-hmm.
you write the best poem or the best story,
Mm-hmm.
then there's an exchange program, the students will come to Kenya, then the others will go to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it happens that there was a literature competition. And I never really wrote it for myself.
Mhm.
My friend wanted to participate. So he came to me and asked, we could write this together,
Mhm.
but it's my name I will submit, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
So we wrote a poem. I think it was a poem on our chief principal. He was a
Mm-hmm.
very good man. So we wrote a poem. The poem was submitted. It really had to pass through the HOD English one.
Mm-hmm.
Then she approved it and we submitted the letter. It ended up being, I think, position 3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my friend Liaha, that's Sabu, he really did well with the poem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did the editing, we did the submission, and yeah, that's when I knew I could write something.
Ah.
Yeah, started writing poems. Yeah, not really performing them to the school or the students, but I just started writing them in a book.
Mm-hmm.
I could spill my emotions there, and it went well.
Yeah, hold on to that point. Emotions.
Yeah, okay.
What kind of poems are you writing in Form 2?
In Form 2,
Yeah.
you know them. Yeah.
Please tell
You know
the
them.
world.
It's
For the
the
sake
kind
of those who are not poets. Tell
Okay.
us.
In Form 2, that's where it hits, the adolescence and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. When you go for outings from school, you meet other students from
Yeah.
other schools, the girls and stuff. Yeah, and I used to go for a lot of them. I was not majorly in co-curricular,
Mm-hmm.
but I was good in class. I'm proud to say that. Yeah, so when we went to contests, chemistry, maths, yeah, we used to meet them. And when you come for contest or when you go for contest and you meet a lady,
Yeah.
yeah, it's different when you go for co-curricular because they respect you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when it started. So I don't really say it's falling in love.
Mm-hmm.
That was adolescence. Yeah, so talk
Maybe.
yeah, so I started writing love poems from there. Yeah, then after Form 2, I think towards Form 3, okay, I had my first high school girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is your dad watching? Will he be watching?
I'm sorry, Dad, but it's true. Yeah, my first high school girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and after some time, also the poem was pushed, love poems to her and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's very interesting.
that's how it started.
No, moving on,
Yeah.
you've found this sort of new language to spill out your emotions into form of poetry.
Yeah.
How do you move that from just talking about your emotions to telling stories? Because you're known for telling very powerful stories,
Yeah.
very emotional stories.
Yeah.
How did you get to that point?
And I think the fun fact is I don't write love poems anymore.
Yeah.
I don't tell stories of love.
Mhm.
If you have noticed that,
Yeah.
I really write dark and emotional stories about pain,
Mhm.
loss, heartbreak. Yeah, so I think I'm this introverted guy.
Mhm.
Don't know if some people say that, and I can confirm that.
Mhm.
I don't really like talking to people a lot.
Mhm.
I would sit in my room for some time and really, and I like watching movies of maybe loss and pain, because that is where I get that strong instinct to write. Yeah, so when I discovered that I could write more of my poems being about heartbreak and pain,
Mhm.
and I compared them to poems on love or stories about love, the ones on heartbreak were a little bit better,
Yeah.
and people would appreciate them.
Mhm.
Yeah, and big up to Masufuria, my mentor,
Yeah.
and he told me, go with this heartbreak. You really do well in heartbreak, and
Mhm.
yeah, the poems. So when he told me that, I started converting them more to like stories.
Mm.
Yeah, if you have a poem, you can easily convert them to stories,
True.
because
True.
a poem and a story is just you adding sentences
Yeah.
and conjunctions in the poem to become a story. So I think that's how it started.
Well, I got a question recently. I have been in a position where I'm writing a lot of pain poetry,
Yeah.
a lot of loss, love, that kind of poetry where it's heartbreak and betrayal, all that. And that tends to make people think that I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
Have you faced that
Yeah,
yourself?
exactly. I face that a lot.
So ladies think that you're this heartbroken guy.
This heartbroken guy. Who hurt you? Those are the questions that are, who hurt you?
Uh-huh.
But I tell them, yeah, it's just a writing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm a very happy guy off stage.
Mm-hmm.
I really joke a lot,
Uh-huh.
but they don't believe that.
They still think you're
They
heartbroken.
don't believe that.
Well, have you ever been advised to go for therapy, talk to somebody?
Yeah, I performed a poem on death.
Uh-huh.
I think it was on Friday Poetry. There was a show at Swahili Port.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really touching.
Mm-hmm.
And an audience came to me and asked me, do you write love poems?
Mm.
Yeah, I told her, yeah, I write, but not that regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, are you good? Like, kuna kitu
Yeah, tuambie.
are you good? Oh, this is an experience you had.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her, it's just a writing. I'm just writing to perform. Yeah, I ended up being given a card for a therapy session.
Oh.
Yeah, just call this guy and go for therapy. Okay, it was my first time having that experience. I was shocked by that.
Trust me, it's gonna come more often. It's gonna come more often because I feel like society we are currently living in, it's a society where, as much as we love watching bad news, we love watching about war and everything, we want some positivity when it comes to our entertainment.
Exactly.
So if people are in a space where they are expecting entertainment and they get that sort of content, it shakes them.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, very good.
But it also puts you at a spot.
Exactly.
But okay, now there's something else that you're doing, which is blogging. It's something that a lot of poets have struggled with. The consistency of writing and publishing your work online. That it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
So how has that been going for you?
Yeah, before that, let me tell the audience that we are celebrating 500 published poems on our blog post.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Work. So blogging, I think the main point on blogging is consistency, just as you have said.
Mm-hmm.
It has a strategy that you have to follow. Yeah, I do like maybe 5 poems in a week. Yeah, so I did a strategy where I'm a plan where I make sure I'm doing 5 poems a week.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't work alone. I have a team. Yeah, so everyone is responsible for a particular task. If I am to write, you are to post.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I write, I give them the heading, I give them the picture that will be posted with, then their work is to post, then we review.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If the poem is either cancelled or prohibited by the blog post, we revise again. So I think doing it alone cannot work. You need to have someone, because it's quite work.
Yeah, it's a lot of
It's
work.
a lot of work to be consistent, to be able to post regularly as per the wanting of the audience. Really good. Quite
Well, congratulations on the 500 poems.
thank you.
I think that's enough to fill a book. It's about time you published a book,
Exactly.
and we're waiting for that. Now, there is a stereotype that has been going around, which is something I feel like you're in the best position to crack, because you are in both. Somebody told me you can't be both logical and creative. You have to choose a side.
Yeah.
Have you faced that stereotype, and how are you using your platform, and what you do to crack it?
I first faced the criticism from my parents. Yeah. I was raised in a very conservative family where education is everything. Yeah, you have to go to school. You have to be good in school, not just go to school. Yeah. So when I started writing poems and performing, the first call I got from my dad was, "What are you doing? You're going to fail in your exams. You're not supposed to be doing this at the same time you have exams." But I think I've been able to convince him otherwise, as that now he believes in what I do. Yeah, so many people believe like logic and creativity cannot work together, which is a very, very big myth. Yeah, I've faced it and I've conquered it. Yeah, I think as at now I have self-realization that I've conquered that.
Yeah.
And it's something that is not supposed to be factual to people. Yeah. So I think the main point that people should understand is, if you want to do something, at least give it your all. If you want to be logical in this, give it your all. If you want to be creative, give it your all. They'll all meet at one point. It will be good. Yeah.
Now, speaking of meeting, have your engineering studies ever met your poetry? Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like these two things are meeting at a point?
Yeah, I've wrote poems on engineering.
Ooh.
Yeah, the poem was Otto and Wilbur, the first two engineers to ever invent a plane. Yeah, I did a poem at Cocktail. It really did well. I have it in my blog. Yeah, so I think engineering and poetry. And the first thing that I ever did when I got the call from my dad that you're going to fulfill this, I told my dad, okay, I'm not supposed to say this, Dad, but let me say it. Engineering and creativity are the same thing. Creativity is just intelligence. Okay, having fun. Yeah, you're just playing with intelligence. You're playing with words. So the more I play with these words, the more I be creative enough to invent some things. Because engineering is all about innovations. It's about research. So if I'm creative enough to write a poem on engineering, I can simply know there's a gap here that I should tackle. Yeah. So my poetry has really contributed much to my engineering and other sort. Yeah, because
I think that's a very beautiful way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Now, in your career, how long have you been in poetry, by the way?
It's now 3 years.
3 years now.
Yeah.
Now, if you were asked to describe your perfect client, your perfect audience, because as much as we are performing to entertain, there's that perfect person that you're looking to deliver your work to. Who's that person, basically?
Okay, as much as it's hurting to say, but I want someone who has been hurt. Someone who has gone through depression.
Wow.
I think that's my perfect audience.
So somebody who has been hurt.
Yeah.
A depressed person.
A depressed person.
What do you aim at achieving by talking to this person?
Yeah, there's always a next time. My poems always ends with, there's always a next time.
Do you have one that you can do off the book right now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, please give us one, and this is dedicated to all the heartbroken people.
Oh, not really. Let me do someone. Okay. Michael told me, laughing as though it was actually a joke, that he wanted to kill himself, but it was never the right time. There was always brothers to be tucked in at night, little children to be brought to the house. There's always grocery to be bought. Don't worry, this is not a story where Michael kills himself 20 seconds into the poem. It's not a story about that. Michael got a promotion yesterday. His name is now Mike. And if I would describe Mike is a cold engine in which none of the parts complain. Mike is a fossil somebody made from a fossil of a man long gone. If you remove money from all this equation, Mike would be a beggar. He would be carrying sacks at the local town walls, painting the walls like it's his. People would praise him. They would say, look at the painting made by a madman. Look at how beautiful it looks. All of us know that the genes for being an artist and a madman are not just the same. They are related. They're always related. So we were 17. We were 17 when we first rode with Mikes on bikes older than us to shows we never knew. We were 17 when I bought lunch for Michael more often than I did not. We were 17 when Michael first told me he was feeling depressed. I told him to shut up. Ask him if he needed diapers because I was told only children get depressed. There were differences between Michael and I. When we were depressed, I was taken to the best therapist in town. My father had cash. When we felt angry, Mike would starve himself 2 weeks into that anger. I ate good food. When we were depressed, Michael would be close to committing suicide. I would be close to my first trip to the Maldives because I'm depressed. My father had cash. But I'm happy I'm not talking about Michael's funeral today. I'm happy Michael got over that. And I'm happy Michael is here with me today. Thank you.
To everybody who's watching, please snap. That's how we appreciate poets. that's wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna comment on the poem at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to the audience. To everybody who's watching, please comment. Give us the most touching line that you got from that piece, and tell us what you learned from that piece. And tell us, who would you dedicate this piece to? Who deserves to hear this piece? Now, in your journey, what has been the greatest challenge that you've faced so far?
Yeah, being the fact that my journey throughout poetry has been me also being a student. I think the most challenge I've faced is balancing poetry and studies. Yeah. Sometimes there's a show you have to attend. You've been called, maybe there's a show tomorrow, and they give you a topic on the poem they want you to perform. You're not just going there to perform a random poem. They give you, maybe want you to write about mental health. I'm a GBV, gender-based violence. You don't have a poem on gender-based violence.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe your audience are children, you're going to visit a children's home.
Yeah.
The poems you have written are for grown-ups.
Grown-ups, yeah, adults.
Okay. So you have to come out with a poem.
Yeah.
This night, maybe there's a research you're working on. The lecturer wants the research tomorrow. So you have to do this. Because if you leave without going there, you're the one they're counting on. You have to go and perform the poem. You have to present your research. I think balancing is the most. But yeah, we've tackled that too.
What has been the greatest doubt so far? Because I feel when we are talking about the challenges that we have, sometimes the doubts that we face that are within ourselves becomes the biggest hurdle that we have to surpass for us to get to where we want. So far, what has been the greatest doubt you have?
I think my greatest doubt is my poem's not been good enough. I think that's because I've been in social media for some time. Not consistently though, but I post and sometimes have other things. Sometimes I post again, but I think it's my poem's not been good enough because some other people would boom for they're on social media for in 3 months. They're doing poetry. They've gone viral. Yeah. And for you've been there for some time. The poems are just there. 500 views, 500 views, 1,000 views, and they're good. Yeah.
But there's something that I want you to look at. I want you to leave alone the number you see on social media. I want you to think of 500 people all together in a room. How many? There's so many people.
Wow. Yeah.
There's so many people. Leave alone 550 people in a room. That's a huge number. So sometimes we'll be looking at, we'll be comparing our success with others. Yeah. You see somebody with a poem that has around 100,000 views, and you're like, oh my God, 500. But you forget 500 is also a very huge number. Yeah. And here's the thing. With 500, it's easy for you to create a community of people who actually believe in you, people who actually trust and listen to your poems. Exactly. For their 100,000 views, there's a possibility only 1% of those people actually watched that video to the end.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something that I love to stress on. It is also a way of challenging myself to keep on moving Doesn't matter how many, hata kama ni 2. If you get 2 views, trust me, those people watched. And those are the targeted audience of that. Those were the intended people to watch that. Now, when we are talking about you've been in poetry for the 3 years, you've been blogging, you've been performing. Did you ever think that one day you would get out of writing and get on a stage and perform?
Wow, not really. I never thought of that. I saw myself as a writer. Yeah, that my work would be used somewhere. Yeah.
But never to perform?
Not really.
How has been their performance scene for you?
It's nice so far. Yeah, at first it was really scary. But right now, good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, now the question would be, what is the future of Amimoh? Because you're graduating in November.
Yeah.
You will be an engineer, a fully fledged engineer in November. What is the future? Because that's Jashon. That's Jashon who's graduating.
Yeah.
Where will Amimoh be in November?
Yeah, it's a really tough question.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think for creativity it will go on. Amimoh Creatives has become a brand. Yeah, we've done so many things with that. It's a team now where we do home visits for children. Yeah, we do donations. Yeah, so I think Amimoh Creatives will continue. We are thinking of opening a studio where we will do our podcast and stuff. Yeah, but we are still looking for donations. I think Amimoh Creatives will continue. We even came up with a company. I co-founded it. It's called the Daring Achievers Program, Mentorship Program, where we have done at least 3 schools now. We did Mama Ngina Girls, we did the Moi Forces in Tongwe, then we did, there's a school in Nyali, I don't know, it's called Brilliant Parks. Yeah, so I think Amimoh Creatives will now be as a company. Not as Amimoh, because this is Jashon now going. Yeah, we're trying to bring in more creatives into this space. So
you feel like Amimoh is no longer just you?
Yeah, it's no longer just me. That's why we changed the name from Amimoh to Amimoh Creatives.
But I think I know you as Amimoh. Everybody else knows it. How are you going to convince us that it's not? I'm Jashon, CEO of Amimoh Creatives.
It's gonna be hard.
Very hard.
But we'll just do it. I think by branding and social media announcements, we'll do it.
Okay.
In the meantime, yeah.
Okay. And now, as Jashon graduates, what are you gonna be in the field actively as an engineer, or are you going to do what Noni did? Get into creativity full time? Okay.
Jashon has passion for engineering. It's always been a dream, right from primary. Yes, I wanted to do engineering. So I think I'll be more on the engineering side because I want to go into practice for like 10 years. Okay, that's the plan. That's always the plan of a normal student after graduation. Be in the practice for 10 years, gain experience, do other things. Yeah, so I think it will be like that.
Now, there's a question that I got asked, and I want to pose this question to you.
Okay.
Somebody asked me, if your life was a poem, what would be the title of that poem?
Wow.
I know, it's a very hard question.
If your life was a poem,
what would be the title?
What would be the title of the poem? Wow.
Think about it.
Wow. Let me think about it. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Wow. The title will be wow. That is the first time I asked a guest a question in this house, and they didn't have
that's a question. If my life was a poem,
what would be the title?
What would be the title? I've had ups and downs. I've had but because I do write poetry and dark stories and pain, and so many people don't understand what I say some of the time. So I would say the title would be The Book That Was Never Read.
The Book That Was Never Read.
The Book That Was Never Read.
Ooh,
The Book That Was Never Read. That's perfect.
That's really scary, because if you're a book that has never been read, it means that nobody understands at this point.
That means if you read it, it changes you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we better start reading, Amimoh. We better start reading it.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to talk to a young person out there who's scared to venture into a passion that they are really passionate about. It might be art. It might be any extracurricular activity. It may be a very good footballer, but they're stuck in class doing law.
Yeah.
So what would you advise them to do, and what would you tell such a person?
Yeah, let me start by, there's a quote by my former principal. He used to say that fear is the real evidence that you're going into the right direction. Yeah. So if something scares you, that you want to do it and it scares you, you're afraid of it, that you're going to maybe not succeed, you're going to fail, that is the evidence that you're going to the right direction. So I think you should just risk. Risk is very important. If you have something that you have passion about, if you want to do it and you know very well you can do it, give it your fullest. Yeah, just do it, risk it all up. As much as there's risking, there's also evaluation. Let us not
the engineers waking up.
Yeah, there's also evaluation. As much as you're risking, evaluate this thing. Will it work? Okay? But if you're very sure it works and you have a strategy on it, risk it, go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, we are almost coming to the end of our interview. Went too fast. Okay. We talked we've talked. But what is that one thing that you would want people to remember you with? Because as much as we are conversing and getting to know you and your career and everything that you do, there's that one thing that you want the viewer to remember you with. Whether it's a statement, whether it's an advice, whether it's a piece of poetry, whatever. What would you want them to remember you with?
I think that would be an advice. Yeah, give them an advice.
All right.
Somebody said that if you are a poet and engineer, you don't just solve equations, you also solve emotions. I had that somewhere. I had a friend who was an engineer at first. We joined the school together, but the friend opted for something else. As much as the parents were so on pressure that he should do engineering, he opted for something else. And before he did leave engineering as a program, he talked to me. I think that's something that really changed my mindset on how to view things. He said, I don't really like this. It's my parents who forced me to do engineering. I don't like it at all. He talked about passion, that I want to risk on something else. Okay. And I was not sure because I didn't have the capacity to advise someone. I've never been in that position. But I said, go for it. I've read books where the advice is always go for what you love. He said, go for it. 2 years down the line, let me tell you, my friend is doing well. Yeah, he's bought a car, built a house. Yeah, we were in the same class. We sat in the same room doing engineering, opted for it, go out, and he's now doing well. So that really taught me a lot. Yeah, if you want to do something, at least do it for passion. Do what you love. Can't force yourself into doing something just because you're being forced by a system to do it. Yeah, if you want to do something, have passion in it first. Strategize, evaluate, and you'll really do well.
That's amazing.
Okay.
So you're going to give us your social media platforms. I know we talked about a blog. Please also tell us how we can get that blog.
Okay.
Because I know 500 poems, it can be a read. It can be a monthly read. I mean, I'm doing this challenge. I'm reading a book monthly. Very tough. It's not easy, but I've managed it so far. So I believe somebody who's also doing the same challenge as me can take your blog as a book on its own and read the 500 poems. So tell us how we can get it and how we can find you on social media platforms.
Good. On all our social media platforms, that is IG, TikTok, YouTube, it's Amimoh Creatives. But our blog is at www.amimohblogpost.com. Yeah, we don't have creatives in there. Blog post. It's just www.amimohblogpost.com. Yeah.
All right. That was Amimoh Creatives. That was Jashon.
That was Jashon,
the CEO of Amimoh Creatives. I need to repeat that severally for me to get it, and I know the people who know him also have to repeat it severally for them to get it. That was such a beautiful conversation where intellect and creativity meets. That would be the perfect title for this episode, by the way. Now, for everybody who's been watching us from the beginning to this point, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's the only way and the easiest way you can actually help us to continue producing such amazing content. Remember to leave a comment down below on the lesson you learned from this interview, and go follow us on all our social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, kila mahali. We we are Life in Focus. My name is Miss Noni, and until next time, remember to follow your passion. Kwaherini.